Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing a Dodge Challenger Scat Pack wide body with a manual. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Carl Malone Dodge Ram here in Heber, Utah for giving me some time with this car. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through a 6-speed manual transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 485 horsepower and then 475 pound-feet of torque. And would you look at that? The venting is actually functional. Anyways, plop. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see all of the vents. This is the same hood that the original Hellcat had, funny enough. And then popping down below, really cool light design. You guys can see RT there in the grille as well. And then notice that's blacked out at the bottom. And yes, this does still have a little chin guard. But putting it all together, it has that distinctive muscle car appearance. Now when it comes to the tire and wheel setup, it's 305, 35, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you've got the satin gray finish. We also have Brembo brakes with this as well. And then you guys can see the wide body package here with the bigger fender flares. 392 badge here on the side as well. And then here's your full side view with the car. Again, with this wide body package, it looks really good. Now we have a regular Dodge key fob here, lock and unlock function, opening for the trunk as well. And speaking of trunk, the Challenger still has the biggest storage space for a muscle car, which I always thought is a pretty cool thing. So it's practical, guys. But anyways, plop. You guys can see here with the spoiler, again, this is the spoiler the original Hellcat had. And you can see the Scat Pack logo. And then look at the taillights here. And then the exhaust tips there at the bottom. Well, I should say the covers for the tips. But putting it all together, man, such an icon with styling. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see soft touch here, and then also down below you can rest your arm. Automatic for the window controls, you get your mirror adjustments, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors as well. And then popping over to the seats, you guys can see with the Scat Pack logo, you got the Alcantara mixed with the leather, which is really cool. And they have this little latch right there that'll allow you to access the back. You guys can see again Alcantara and leather. You actually can fit adults back there, but I'd recommend reserving it for kids. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch there at the top and at the bottom, perforated here on the side so you can get slightly better grip. Radio controls in the back. We also have our cruise control, controls for the center stack as well, regular stock there on the back. And then with the Challenger, you can see the gauge cluster, partially analog, got the screen there in the center though, which you can use to scroll through different menus, got the performance stuff there as well. Now we got the older camera, as you can see. Resolution with it's decent. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment screen, you'll notice that we've got a dual zone climate and we have heated and ventilated seats. Response time with the screen is actually pretty good, but the fun part is the drive mode tab. So you guys can see we've got launch control with this. You got line lock as well, performance pages, and then you got all the different drive modes that you can go through and you can somewhat customize them with the custom mode. More soft touch here on the dash, and then you guys can see the carbon fiber trim down below, and that's also around this area. Some analog controls here for the climate controls, the radio, and also for the drive mode select launch control. And then we have our shifter for that 6-speed manual transmission, and then center console, got some nice padding there, and then pretty big glove box for the Challenger, nicely lined with felt. 392 logo there on the end, and then you guys can see with the pillars. Really nice material use. You got the premium headliner with this as well. Now taking a look at the window sticker here, you guys can see Scat Pack wide body. Anyways, after all options, $63,025 is the total MSRP. I remember back in the day you could buy a Hellcat with that. No longer. Anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring for the rest of the rear, and Challenger has a truck parking brake. My goodness, it's funny. Anyways, let's set off in the Scat Pack. Oh, I love this manual transmission. I'm pretty sure it's a Tremec 6-speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a Tremec 6-speed. And actually I can just look at the window sticker here. There you go, manual Tremec transmission. And it's just such a good transmission. Tremec really does make the best manuals. Every single transmission that I love happens to be a Tremec. You guys know I have a GT350 Mustang. I actually drove it up here today. That also has a Tremec 6-speed. So yeah, it's just a thing. I do like the headliner on this. I wish that's something that other muscle car automakers would do more so, because it just makes it feel a little bit more premium. Oh man, I just realized it's in kilometers per hour. Love the muscle car sound, like the V8 sound. I don't know why I said muscle car sound, because this one's a real muscle car, right? This is the most muscle car that you can get. It's pretty easy to rev match the 6.4 Hemi. But again, you gotta remember it's a truck engine at the end of the day that they've shoehorned into this two-door sports car. Oh man, you gotta love that 6.4 Hemi. It's so torquey, it sounds so good. Just a deep, rumbly V8 sound. I will say the window sticker is a little bit annoying because it's kind of a blind spot here. Okay, we should be good here. Oh, love this engine. And again, it's a lot of power, but it's not so much that you're gonna instantly break the law. That's the thing about, I've said this so many times, but the Hellcat's so fast, so much power that just boom, over the speed limit. Like, you just look at the gas pedal and you're speeding. Whereas this, you can actually go through the gears a little bit. You can actually enjoy the power a little bit. I think it's really cool, and it's one of the coolest parts of this car, that it actually has usable power. So let me know your thoughts on the Scat Pack manual, but I think Scat Pack manual, wide body, the greatest Challenger ever made, the greatest muscle car ever made. This one happens to be available for sale right now if you're interested. But yeah, I think this is the one to get. This is the one that, like, if I was obviously the muscle car collectors are gonna probably want the Demon, but like, if I wanted like one that I would actually love to drive, right? Because that's kind of what cars are for. They're meant to be driven, not to sit in a garage. And I guess I accidentally hit the auto button on the AC. Anyways, one that I would actually drive, this is the one. This is the one that is like the best to drive. It drives better than, in my opinion, it's not as fast as the Hellcat, but it drives better than the Hellcat. It doesn't sound as cool as the Hellcat with the supercharger whine, but again, it drives better. Let me know your thoughts.